back to my channel. My name is Caitlin, and for today's video we are doing a cute little fall reading vlog. I'm really excited to film this video because this is the week that I am finally starting The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I have had this book on my TBR for the longest time. This is probably the book that's on the highest priority for my fall TBR, so I'm finally excited that I'm going to prioritize reading it this week. So we have this book lined up for this week, and then I have another book lined up, but we're gonna see how this week goes because now I am in the thick of the semester. I have my class schedule, I have my work schedule, so it's gonna be really challenging to find time to read this book. But I started reading this actually last night on Sunday, so that's kind of the opening clips that you guys saw of this video, and I got 3 pages in and realized that I had to do reading for one of my other classes that was today, so I didn't actually read much of this, but I'm really excited to get into it because so many people love this book, so many people have cried, and one thing about me is that if I see people crying over a book, especially a romance book, I'm going to read it. Because I also want to cry, and fall is giving tears. I want to cry this fall. I want emotional reads. I want reads that are just gonna leave me heartbroken, happy, all of the 9 yards. So I'm really excited to get into this. So The 7-Year Slip, I'm pretty sure, is a little bit about magical realism, or that's kind of the genre as well that it's part of, along with romance. But it's about a woman who moves into her late aunt's apartment and finds that there is a man living there, but he lives 7 years in the past, and she unfortunately lives 7 years in the future. So it's gonna be really interesting, the magical aspect of this book and kind of seeing how that comes into play. I'm also really excited to see how the love story is going to come into play and like how the dynamic is going to be with this kind of time gap. Like I said earlier, I haven't really got that much into it, but the 3 pages that I read, I can already tell I'm gonna love the writing. So this is what I'm going to be reading this week. It's gonna be a challenge trying to find time to read, but I'm going to prioritize it. I'm gonna take this time to maybe get some reading done. I hope you guys also enjoyed the fun little like montage I had in the beginning because that was really cute and it definitely like set the tone. So hopefully I'm gonna try and do something every single day to kind of get me in that fall mood and that fall vibe because I love fall. It's my favorite season. I will come back and talk to you guys when I have a reading update for this book. You guys, this book is actually a little bit insane. I'm not even gonna hold you. So I am reading The 7-Year Slip and I am on page 192 of The 7-Year Slip. I'm on chapter 25 and I have not felt this way about a romance book since I read Unravel Me by Becca Mack, which was a couple months ago, and I've read a couple of romance books since then and they have just not hit. They were just not good. And to read a romance novel and fall in love with the writing and to read a romance novel and to get the emotion and the emotional connection between the characters again just feels like a crisp, clean glass of water. It feels so good. This book is eating and like I knew it was going to be good. But like I was not expecting to enjoy it so much so quickly. And like I literally feel like I can't do anything but read this book. I was supposed to read for class earlier. Did I read? No, I read this book. I got home like an hour ago. The second I got home, threw my bag down, changed into some comfy clothes, started reading this book. I got to page like 60 something last night of this book, and the fact that I've already read over 100 pages just today, and I had a very busy day today, but I made time to read because I prioritized it. Like, I haven't prioritized reading so much in a really long time. All I can think about is finding moments in my day to read this book. I haven't done that in so long. And the fact that like I started this book, really I started it yesterday, because even though I started it technically on Sunday, I didn't read that much, so I really started it yesterday, and I'm already over halfway done. I don't know what is in this book. Is it crack? Like, what is it? It's so good, and I'm enjoying it so much. I just love the characters. I love, oh my gosh, the writing in here feels like poetry. It literally feels like poetry. It's so magical, and it's so like emotional and deep, and just, it's so beautifully written. And I don't want to say too much about the plot because I feel like I didn't go into this book really knowing anything, and I think you should go into this book not knowing anything. I'm not even gonna tell you the main male character's name. I ain't gonna tell you nothing. I think you should go into this book blind because it is just such an amazing time. This is getting me in the fall spirit and the fall mood. I was very curious to see how the author was going to kind of set this plot up with the fact that this man is in her apartment, lives 7 years in the past, but she is obviously 7 years in the future, and how they're supposed to interact and like what that means and like how that's actually gonna look and play out. And can I just say that this is why you trust certain authors, because I trust Ashley, and guess what she delivered? The way she is writing that whole plot and the magical aspect to all of this is so perfect, and it just makes so much sense, and it's so good. This book has me blushing. This book, oh my god, the man in this book, he has me blushing. They're not even doing anything. He's literally just saying things, like 2 words, and this man has me like, this is giving favorite romance of the year. Yeah. Well, let me not say that, because depending how this book ends, I'm scared. Sometimes I read romance and it's like, it's okay if I don't get a happy ending. This is a story where if I don't get a happy ending, I actually will not be okay. This is a story that I think could hurt me, potentially, like Me Before You hurt me. And no book has hurt me like that. So I'm putting a lot of pressure on Miss Ashley to give me a happy ending, because if I don't get a happy ending, the aunt in this book, like the way she's talked about and the way our main character talks about her relationship with her aunt and who her aunt was, it's just so, like, her aunt just feels like this magical person, so full of adventure and life. She's one of those people where it's like, you see them living this amazing life, but you know that there's more beneath it, and there's more to them than just this like venture that they're putting on for their life. And her aunt just reminds me of that. And I don't know, the more I read, the more I just fall in love with it. I'm not gonna finish it today because I actually have to read for class tomorrow. Like, it's not funny. Like, I have to remember that like I'm a student and I have to prioritize being a student, unfortunately. But babes, this book is getting done tomorrow. I'm finishing this book tomorrow. There's no way. I have less than 200 pages left, and I read over 100 pages today, easy. I'm finishing this tomorrow. So it's giving 5-star energy. That's my update. I will see you guys when I probably have finished reading this book, and I will give you guys my final thoughts and my rating. Wait. Let me not get ahead of myself. Hold on. This is a lot. Oh, okay. Don't cry. I knew it! What? Damn it! is doing so good. Damn it. This book is insane. It's so good. I felt like I saw that come. No, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see that coming. But you know when things, you just peep certain things through conversation? Ashley, you ate that. You ate that one thing. You ate that one thing. I ain't gonna hold you. Now is not the time. Now is not the time. Now is not the time. She's crying. I'm sending a prayer that the end of this book will be happy because I am not so sure. I have this much left. You guys, so I just finished. Let's put my pillow back there. Ignore this. This isn't fall themed. It's ruining the vibes. Hold on. I don't think this is that much better. But anyways, I just finished The 7-Year Slip. I cried. I read the last line and I kind of lost it. I just felt really connected to these characters and I was able to see myself in the main character, Clementine, and I loved reading her story and her thoughts, and I loved reading her journey. And I feel like this book is like half romance and the magical aspect of the apartment, and you know, the apartment's kind of like this time machine in a way. But then the other half of the book, I feel like we really dive deep into the grief that Clementine is experiencing after losing her aunt, and it was such a beautiful yet painful depiction of grief and what it means to lose somebody so close to you so suddenly and kind of still have this tangible thing that they've kind of left for you. And I just really loved Clementine, and I loved her relationship with her aunt, and I loved the snippets we had of like how they were in the past and the memories. And I feel like this book healed something inside of me that I didn't even know I needed to have healed. And I love Clementine. I love her relationship with the male main character in this book. The male main character in this book is literally one of the best male main characters I've ever read. And I have, but like it's been so long since I've read a book where the male main character is so perfectly paired with the female main character. And I felt like in The 7-Year Slip, it was so perfectly paired, and I love them together, and I just loved this book. It was such a joy to read, and I didn't want it to end. I've underlined, I've dog-eared. I'm so happy that I read this. I think this is a perfect book for fall. Literally, if you're looking for a fall romance that is emotional and cute. Honestly, I do feel very hopeful. I feel hopeful after reading this book. If you're looking for that, I think this is the book for you. If you have not read The 7-Year Slip, please read this. I want to read this other book by this author, The Dead Romantics, because this is amazing. Like, this book is actually amazing. Easy 5 stars. Easy 5 stars. This book is gonna stick with me for a long time. So that wraps up the first book for this reading vlog. It is Wednesday. I'm gonna probably pick up my second book for the video tomorrow. I will see you guys in my next clip when I show you guys the second book that I'm gonna be reading for this video. I need this man. Like, I need him bad. #1 book boyfriend. I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Magic and potions and all that stuff, I think, but I think they're like...
I am having so good. Also, this pimple all week, it's been bothering me. So my next read is going to be finally The Regrets by Miss Amy Bonifant. So I'm really excited to read this one. This is about Ghost, falling in love with a ghost. So similar, I feel like, to The 7-Year Slip. Well, he wasn't a ghost in The 7-Year Slip. This is actually a ghost. Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday. I started reading The Regrets by Amy Bonifant, and I regret to inform you that I didn't read much of this yesterday. So I started this on Thursday, didn't get much reading done Thursday, didn't read much yesterday, and it's Saturday now. So my goal is to do a good bit of reading today. I don't know if I'll finish this book today. I have a couple other things I want to get done, but I'm not leaving my apartment. Like today is my apartment day. So we will see how much I can get done from this because I do want to read this and finish this for the vlog. So this is a priority for the day. Yesterday I went shopping and I got some other fall stuff. I might show you guys like my living room later and whatnot, but I got this I Put a Spell on You little cup from Ross yesterday, and I'm gonna use it today because it's so cute. And it's so funny, me and my friend, she came over and we actually watched Hocus Pocus, and I'm very much in a fall mood. So we're gonna make some coffee. I don't have any milk, so I'm gonna use water to use with my JavyCoffee concentrate. I did a shorts on this coffee concentrate. It's really good. I like to switch it up with my coffee and not always use the cold brew. I used it with milk last time. We're gonna use it with water this time. Put 2 teaspoons. Ooh. Of Javy. Woo. And mix it. And y'all know me. I'm gonna put hella creamer in it. I'm using the Chobani vanilla creamer. So we're gonna put a good bit of creamer in here. Tell me if this is not like the cutest thing you've ever seen. This is actually really good. Okay, I think I prefer this with water instead of milk because this is really good. So coffee has been made. I'm going to now make breakfast and read The Regrets and hopefully give you guys an update. I will say so far from what I've read, which has only been like a page, this is gonna be a very interesting book. It's giving very much strange, odd. I'm really intrigued by this. So I will see you guys when I have an update for the book. Yo, this book is interesting. Very interesting. Let's keep reading. Hello, friends. So it's the next day, and obviously I didn't post this vlog on Sunday because it's Sunday right now and there is no video. So what had happened was I had every intention to continue reading The Regrets yesterday, and then my mom called me, and for those who don't know, I am in Florida for graduate school, and my family and my mom and everything, they live in Georgia, which is where I moved away from to attend graduate school down here in Florida. So my mom called me, and I thought she was just checking in. So she was like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm working on a report for school. What are you doing? And then she was like, I'm about to be in your place in 20 minutes. And I was like, no way. My mom came and surprised me, and it was so nice. So we enjoyed 24 hours together, and literally there was no thoughts of a video, of finishing this book. I was just like, I just want to spend time with my mom because it's been like a month since I've last seen her. But I don't know, living away from home has been quite challenging for me. So anytime I get to spend with my mom and my family, I try to soak it all up. So with that being said, I didn't finish The Regrets. I'm still reading The Regrets. I'm currently on page 112, and it's not a bad book at all by any means. I was just, you know, occupied by other things, but I do want to give you guys a reading update because this book, it's wild, but it's very, very interesting. Like, it's definitely giving me fall vibes, which is like the theme of this vlog. It's not necessarily spooky, it's just strange. Like, it's not like spooky, oh my god, this is like creepy or anything. It's spooky in the sense that like this is just a very strange situation with very strange characters. Like, these characters are very odd in my opinion so far from what we've known of them. I'm gonna pull up my notes because I want to make sure I get this update right. So the book opens up in Thomas's point of view. It's the moment that he died and it's time for him to like cross over to the other side. But in the midst of him trying to cross over, something goes wrong. So he doesn't fully get to cross over. So that's kind of where the book starts. And then you spend like the first 60 pages all in his point of view, getting backstory about who he was, how he was raised, why he actually didn't cross over, like what kind of complication happened. And it's better explained in the book. I don't want to get too much into it because that could be a potential spoiler, but it's a very interesting reason as to why he didn't cross over. So now he's kind of like in this waiting period, and like the keepers of death are keeping him in this waiting period. I'm assuming so they can figure out and fix the mistake that happened as to why he didn't cross over. So in this waiting period, he is a ghost, but he's a ghost in his human form, and he kind of has to live life as though he doesn't exist, because he doesn't exist. Like, he's dead, but he's not dead. He's in this like limbo state. He's not supposed to like build any relationships with people. He's not supposed to like go looking in his past. He's not supposed to like figure out like how he died or why he died, what happened to him, what happened to his family and friends. Like, he's literally just supposed to like wake up, eat, breathe, live, but not like do anything. Because if he does do anything, they have like this set of rules for him. If he breaks any of these rules, he's going to incur these regrets. We have not gotten to a point yet where he's incurred any regrets. So that's what the book opens up with. And then we have Rachel. So then Rachel gets introduced because he sees her at a bus stop and he just gets this crazy fascination, obsession with her, and she has the same thing. Like, she just gets like, oh my gosh, who is this golden guy who is glowing and everything? So they just become very infatuated with each other, and we get kind of the next couple of chapters in Rachel's point of view. So it is dual perspectives, but it's not like every chapter is alternating between Thomas's point of view and Rachel's point of view, because you'll have like 60 pages in Thomas's point of view, and right now I'm in Rachel's point of view. Thomas and Rachel are very interesting people. Like, they're very strange, and they're very weird is not the right word, but they're just like quirky in a way. Their personalities are just very complimentary of each other, and I think that's probably why they gravitated towards each other. And another thing about this book is that it's told in a lot of like stream of consciousness and a lot of metaphors, so you're in these characters' heads a lot. Like, there's a good bit of dialogue, but it's definitely not like overly dialogue heavy by any means, but it's not at all what I was expecting. It's not at all what I was thinking it was going to be. I mean, I didn't really have an idea of what it was going to be for real, and it's different, and I like that it's different than anything I've ever read before. I'm excited to continue reading this book. I think it's going to be a pretty good one. I'm really interested to see, like, obviously they're going to break the rules because they're going to get intimate with each other, which they've kind of already started, which that in itself was told in a very interesting way. And sometimes I'm reading it and I'm just like, one, I'm like, can you even say that? And then two, I'm just like, why? Why would you say that? That's how I feel about this. It's Sunday night. It's literally 10 o'clock at night. I have to go to school in class. My week starts tomorrow. So I don't know when this book is going to be finished, but I'm probably gonna do a little bit of reading tonight. Just a little bit. I will see you guys when I have an update. So yeah, good night. So you see how like this pimple literally disappeared, right? Well, we have a new friend. Coming up, but I bought pimple patches, so I'm gonna put it on. I've never used the pimple patch, but I bought pimple patches, so we're gonna put it on and see if these work. But this is the daytime pimple patch. I don't know if it makes a difference. Anyways, good night. Bye. Hey guys, so it is now Saturday. A whole nother week has gone by, and I finished The Regrets by Amy Bonifant last night. And not that I was putting this book aside because I didn't want to read it throughout the week, but I feel like I've been saying this so many times, but I just had a busy week and I had no energy, no brain power to actually read this book. But with the times that I did read it, things got very weird very quickly. I feel like the last time I updated you guys, I was enjoying the book. I think I was about halfway or a little bit close to halfway into the book. And I definitely think that the story kind of lost its plot after the halfway point. I feel like once Rachel and Thomas got together and they started being intimate together and their relationship really started forming, things started to get lost. I felt like the whole idea about these regrets that Thomas was supposed to incur and the consequences that were supposed to come from that was forgotten about. We really didn't hear that kind of rule again. It was mentioned like once after the beginning, but honestly, like nothing really came from that. Like I got to the end of the book and I was like, okay, but like the whole regrets thing, it was like briefly mentioned in like a sentence or two, but it wasn't, in my opinion, explained. And there was an opportunity for it to be explained, and they just were like, no, I'm not gonna explain it. And I'm like, no, I think we need to explain it, because that's like the whole point of this book. Like that was the big conflict, should have been the consequence. But I guess maybe I just didn't understand it, or maybe I missed something. Another thing about this book was that I also felt like, and it's so funny that I was thinking this, and then I looked at the back and another author had wrote that Bonifon reads like Haruki Murakami for the millennial generations. That is such a perfect way to describe this book, because I was reading it and I was like, the writing reminds me of Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. And if you know anything about his writing, it's very strange and it's very weird. Like it's definitely you have to have an acquired taste to like and enjoy his writing. And I did like Norwegian Wood, but like I definitely felt those vibes of Murakami in this book. And I definitely think that this author took maybe some inspirations from his writing style with the tone and the sentence structures and just like the vibe of this book. It's definitely perfect for spooky season. So if you're definitely needing something to kind of transition into October, this is a great book to do that. I ended up giving this book 3 stars because, again, of the whole kind of losing the plot, but also there's like another character. So you get Thomas's perspective and you get Rachel's perspective, but there's another character that you get their perspective, and I don't know why we did. And I felt like, again, we were losing the plot and it was kind of taking away, and I just didn't like that. I understand why, I guess, they were used, but I just was like, I feel like there was another way to get to this end goal without giving this character their own perspective. Also with their perspectives, none of these characters are very likable, but I will say that being in Thomas's perspective and having like his narration and kind of listening to his voice and his like viewpoints and perspectives was so much more interesting than Rachel's. Rachel and Thomas are very distinct, but they obviously complement each other. But like I enjoyed being in Thomas's perspective more, and I felt like when I wasn't in his perspective, I was craving to be in his perspective. And I think if you're gonna write in multiple perspectives, I need to really enjoy the book. I need to want to be in everybody's perspective. Also with the writing, I know I mentioned it earlier that there's just a lot of tangents, and the tangents went on. The inner monologues went on. I saw somewhere in a review that someone said if you liked Sally Rooney, you would like this book, because this relationship is not a love story. Like I know it might be like, when you read like the synopsis or summary, it might seem like it's a love story, but this is a very unhealthy dynamic between these two characters, and things got really weird with the whole ghost element very fast. Like I know in a comment I may have said that it was kind of like a ghost smutty book. There is a lot of sex in this book, but it's not like sexy sex where you're like, oh my god, it's so smutty and it's so spicy. It's like very technical and very unsexy and very like they just had sex. I don't want to use certain words. It's not what you might think when you think of like ghost smut. Like it's not like, oh my gosh. It's like, okay. I honestly felt like some of these sex scenes could have been written by a man. That's how like unsexy they were. This book was good. I gave it 3 stars, like I said. It was wild, it was fun. It's not perfect. Like I said, I had a couple of issues with it, but I think that the beginning really like grabbed me in and like hooked me in, and I just wish that it kind of stayed throughout the rest of the book. But I do think that it's a good book to read if you're wanting something that's a little bit spooky but not too spooky, that's a bit unusual, nothing like I've ever read before. And I don't know if I would read another book by this author, but I would be intrigued to see what their other book is, because I know she wrote another book before this, so I may check it out. I actually got this book because it was not recommended to me. I hadn't seen it anywhere, but I was at Barnes & Noble's, and sometimes they have like the staff picks, and this was a staff pick, so that's why I picked this book up. So I feel like this reading vlog has been going on for like months, even though it's only been like 2 weeks, but that concludes this week's cozy fall reading vlog. I think that The 7-Year Slip and The Regrets were the perfect 2 books to get me into the fall season, into the fall spirit. Just as a quick recap, I gave The 7-Year Slip 5 stars. This is one of the best romances I've read this entire year. If you are looking for something that's a bit more emotional, if you love Emily Henry's writing, if you are just looking for a gripping love story, then this is the one to do it. There's magical realism, which I really love. I absolutely love this book. 5 out of 5. And then I just talked about The Regrets, 3 out of 5. So if you're looking for a little ghost, unusual, wild story, read this book. So that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I will see you guys in my next video that is going to be coming out next week. And I just want to thank you guys for watching and for subscribing and for commenting and for being really kind. I really do appreciate all the comments and the love, and shout out to the people who know me in real life who actually watch my videos. Appreciate you, love you. But yeah, this has been really fun. I'm really enjoying making content and making videos, even though it can be challenging with like my school schedule and stuff. It's definitely something that I look forward to. Like every Sunday I'm like, okay, like what video am I gonna film next for the week? So this has been fun. I'm having a good time, and I hope you guys are enjoying these videos as well. But that is all. I have to clean my apartment, edit this very long video, and I will see you guys in my next one.